Hello. In this lesson, instead of finding the correlation coefficient, we're going to be looking at how to find the line itself that the data is centered around. So that's why the title of this is Find the Equation of a Regression Line. The equation of this line will be in slope-intercept form. And what you see down here, this is called y hat. It's a statistical term. But really we're saying y equals mx, where m is the slope, and this plus right here will be the y-intercept. So this is basically the equation of this line, where we'll be rounding to the nearest thousandths. We're going to use the same procedure that we used in the calculate correlation coefficient video. So we're asked to find the equation of the least squares regression line of the data described below. On today's episode of Science Time with Jackson, Jackson demonstrates that walking speeds affect how wet a person will get in the rain. Oh, this sounds familiar, right? He simulates walking through the rain at various speeds. Jackson keeps track of his walking speed in meters per second, which is the x, or the independent data, or the input or domain of this function. Next, he measures how wet he is by taking the difference of his weight before and after walking through the rain in kilograms, which is y. That's the output, the range, or the dependent variable. Round your answers to the nearest thousandth. So we are going to, again, start with a new document. I had already cleared out the calculator, but just in case you hadn't, you're not going to save anything. You're going to say no to that, and you're just going to go to List and Spreadsheets, hit Enter, and hopefully you're quite familiar with this now. We're just going to put in our data: 0.7, 0.9, 1.3, 1.6, 1.9. We're going to come over here to our B column, and we're going to title that Y. And put in our data. And again, we're talking about statistics here, and we want to calculate the statistics, and we want to use the slope-intercept form. Our x list should be x values, the y list should be y values. That's where we're pulling it from. And our first result column is going to be C. We're okay with that. And here we have our M and our B. But we're asked to round to the nearest thousandths. So in this question, again, kind of click on it and make sure that it wasn't already rounded. I've got negative 1.5 2, 2. And then, so this is my slope, and my y-intercept is 3.1090. Now here I should put another number after this decimal point. So 1.5227. So again, we're going to use a 7 to determine what to do with the 2. We're going to use the 0 to determine what to do with the 9. So here 7 is greater than 5. That means I'm going to round this 2 up 1. So I've got negative 1.523 as my slope. And my y-intercept is 3.109. The reason I'm not changing this is because this number in the thousandths place is less than 4. So I'm just going to drop it. So I would just come over here and I would put negative 1.523. And here I would put 3.109. Let's look at number 2. And I'm not going to do too many of these because the process is the same, that to find the correlation coefficient. And so I just want to make sure that you understand how to find the slope and y-intercept from here. I'll move that over a little bit. So Leah wants to attract more customers to her family hardware store, so she is investigating whether revamping the store's advertising campaign would help. To find out, Leah kept data from the past several weeks on the number of 30-second advertisements she had purchased, X, so this is how many she bought, and the number of customers who had visited the store, Y. So as a result of her advertisements, this is the number of customers that came in. And we want to find the line of best fit. We're going to round our slope to the nearest thousandth and our y-intercept also to the nearest thousandth. So let's go ahead and put in our data. We're going to go to List in Spreadsheets. Name the first column X, put in your X data. Then come to the next column to the right and put in your Y data. Put menu. We want to go to statistics, stat calculations. We want slope intercept form. X list is X, Y list is Y. Go ahead and table down. Make sure your first result column is C or greater, which it is, so we're okay with that. So our slope is 3.2352. And our y-intercept, and I got quiet because I wanted to make sure that I was reading it correctly, is 17.6705. We're going to use the thousandths place to determine what we should, the 10,000ths place to determine what we should do with the thousandths place. So here for our slope, 3.235, well, the 10,000ths place is 2, so we just drop that because it's less than 4. So our slope is equal to 3.235. Now here, our y-intercept is 17.6705. Well, this 5 in the 10,000ths place is greater than 4, so we're going to up the 0 to 1. So that becomes 17.671. So let's go ahead and put that information in. 3.235 is our slope, and our y-intercept is 17.671. Let's see if we can get one more in. Let's look at number 3, because all of these are going to be pretty much the same. You're going to do the same thing. What you just have to be careful of is your rounding. So in this question or statement or story, we have Mr. Newton wants to demonstrate the importance of proofreading to his English class. He had students read the same passage and mark all the spelling and grammar errors they could find. He recorded how many minutes each student had spent on the exercise, which is X, the input, the independent variable, the domain, and that was a number of minutes. And how many errors the students had missed, which is Y, which is your output, your range, or your dependent variable. Now, again, we're going to round our answers to the nearest thousandths. This is the slope, this is the y-intercept. Let's go ahead and put our data in. So go to List in Spreadsheets. I'm going to do the X column first. Put in our data. Put Y in the second column. Do it again. Go back up. Come back down. Menu. To statistics. Stat calculations. We want slope intercept form. x-list is x, y-list is y. We want our first result column to be greater than c. Our slope is negative 4.0740, and our y-intercept is 70.7037. So let's go ahead and look at our 10,000ths place to decide what we're going to do with our thousandths place in the slope, our 10,000ths place to decide what we're going to do with our thousandths place in the y-intercept. So I'm going to kind of scoot this over. The 10,000ths place has a number that's less than 4. So it's not 4, it's not 3, it's not 2, it's not 1, it's actually 0, so we're going to just drop it. So that will give us negative 4.074. And for our y-intercept, we've got 70.7037. Well, the 7 is greater than 5, so that means that we need to increase the 3 by 1, which takes it up to 4. So our y-intercept will be 70.704. Don't mind me clicking over here. So we're going to put in our answer as negative 4.074, and our y-intercept is 70.704. Alright, I'm going to stop right there because we're just going to keep doing the same thing over and over again. And again, in the interest of time, I don't want to keep you here too long. We could keep going, but it's a lot faster when you don't have to talk through it. So, if you have any questions, please let me know. Have a great one.